Tanto Cuore is a deck-building game that plays very similarly to Dominion, but with more opportunities for direct player interaction and even conflict. The game was developed in Japan and has a very clear manga influence to both its art and its style, while at the same time it's backed up by some really solid gameplay.
In Tanto Cuore, players hire maids to work in their mansion, and at the same time they try to make sure that their maids don't get any illnesses or bad habits. This plays well with 2 to 4 players, and gameplay is about an hour long. The manga influence in the art means that a lot of the style is very cutesy, as you might expect. However, some of the risque nature of some of the images in the theme might put off some people.
Tanto Cuore has a very familiar mechanic for anyone who's played a deck builder before. Players start the game by laying out 10 of the 16 available general maids, the 2 head maids, Marianne and Colette, the 10 private maids, the bad habit and illness cards, and the 3 different types of love cards. This forms the array that players are going to be drawing from over the course of the game.
Players all receive the same starting deck, and they draw 5 cards into their hand to use. The first thing that they do is they use any of their private maid's special abilities, and then they start playing cards out of their hand. They get 1 service and 1 employment. A service means that they can play 1 card out of their hand, 1 maid, down onto the table in front of them. 1 employment means that you can purchase 1 maid out of the face-up stacks in the center of the table. If you play a maid out of your hand, often those maids will give you extra things, such as extra draws, services, employments, or love, which is the currency of the game. Draws are used immediately, so you can draw extra cards out of your deck, and services, employments, and love are all stacked.
One of the unique features of Tanto Cuore is the addition of the private quarters. Here, players can chamber a chambermaid, which removes her from your main hand. They can also add private maids who have powerful ongoing abilities. Because maids in the private quarters don't get reshuffled back into your deck to get redrawn, they also allow you to trim your deck over the course of the game. That being said, it is dangerous to keep maids in your private quarters because if they're there, other players can send them bad habits and illnesses, which will make them less effective. Illnesses prevent maids from using their special powers, while bad habits actually take away points at the end of the game.
The game ends once 3 stacks of face-up cards on the table have been completely exhausted. At that point, each player tallies up their victory points, and the player with the most victory points wins the game. One of the major negatives to this game, pretty much the primary con, is the fact that the theme and the artwork can be a bit offensive. A lot of players may just have a problem getting past the fact that you're buying and selling women, and a lot of the art on the cards is just a little bit softcore porn.
If you can make it past the theme and the art, then this game really is worth trying out. Tanto Cuore is a very well-balanced game with a solid mechanic to it, and the fact that you can really customize your play style to either be more aggressive or more insular makes it very interesting, and the wide variety of different maid powers you can choose from gives it a whole lot of replay value.